So a Café racer is an older style of motorcycle, most popular in the 70s and 80s. And they would race from cafe to cafe. It's a standard street bike that you would strip down, replace the seat, and the handlebars and the headlight as the main three components that you would replace. But you give it a very low profile and a very lightweight feel. Hi, my name is Bryce Fellenstein. I am from a small town in Virginia, and I am a Year 1 Ascend Foundation student. So for Year 1, our projects were supposed to be our own ideas, and we would plan it out and execute the idea throughout the year. And for my project, I chose to fix a bike that I had for a while and turn it into a different style of motorcycle after I had fixed it up and made it run. When I was 17 years old, I got my first motorcycle. Altogether, with my project bike, I've had 4 motorcycles. My dad, when he was in his 20s, rode a motorcycle very similar to my project bike, and that's how I got hooked on motorcycles, was just learning about him riding and then seeing all sorts of motorcycles all over the road. Recently, after I got my first motorcycle, my dad decided that he wanted to get back into riding, and so he bought himself another motorcycle. So I got this bike from a local auction for about 600 bucks. It was in very good condition, and it's all stock from 1979. It's in amazing condition, the paint is pristine, and it was a very good deal for $600. The problem is it didn't work. And I wanted a challenge and to dive into motorcycle mechanics. So I bought the bike and had it for a couple weeks before I got it to run correctly. And then for about 6 or 7 months, I rode it around and had fun on it, riding everywhere I could, just because I liked riding so much. But then it started to quit on me, just from some improper tuning, and it's just an older bike, so it has more problems and needs more maintenance to keep up with. So after it started to quit, I let it sit for a while, and when I started Year 1 of Ascend and learned about the projects, I thought it was a great opportunity to dive back into it and really fix it up. And then I had done a little bit of research on the Café racers, and that seemed like a very interesting style. And so, since I had the right bike for it, I figured I would just go ahead and turn it into a Café for my project as well. When I first pulled it out, I had to take off the carburetors and clean them out and retune them, which turned out to be quite difficult, a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Then after I got those cleaned up, I had to reattach the fuel lines, fuel tank, and everything that is involved in that, and see if it would fire. It cranked over, but it didn't fire after I did that, so I had to check different aspects of it. It was just a little bit out of tune in a few different places, which made it not run correctly. So I took a lot of time and learning from other experts and a lot of research on it, and finally figured out how to adjust the timing and the engine tuning correctly. And after that, I was able to fire it up and it ran correctly. Then after that, I had to do maintenance, such as change the oil and spark plugs. I needed new tires since the old ones were flat and dry rotted. So that was all that I did to fix it up. And it took longer than I had originally planned, but I was able to get it, and with still plenty of time to work on the Café aspect of it. So for the Café, so far I've changed the seat out and the handlebars and the headlight. I did the main 3 components. I also changed the turn signals. So right now I have the headlight and turn signals. I have to figure out how to hook them up correctly. The problem I'm running into is that the original setup for the bike did not plan on LED lighting, and so some of the flashers and relays are set up for incandescent light bulbs, whereas the new ones are LEDs. So I'm having trouble figuring out if they'll even work, or if I need to figure out a new wiring design. But right now I have everything together as it should be, just the electrical issues is what I'm mainly dealing with. Yeah, so there was a couple things with the seat. I had to cut the rear end of the seat mounts off. Instead of having those, I had to weld a new U-shaped metal piece on. That turned out to be more of a challenge than I had originally thought, because it left no room for the license plate mount or brake light, which are both necessary to ride it on the road. So my original desire to do this as my project was to fix up the bike since I had wanted to get back into it. I just needed a little bit more motivation. So aside from wanting to fix this bike already, as of right now, I have a desire to start a motorcycle business in the future. I lean more towards the customizing motorcycles, but I would also like to do more motorcycle mechanics as well. This project would help me see how I worked with myself and how my patience was with working on motorcycles and overcoming obstacles. It would give me a better idea of if this was even an idea that I could pursue in the future.